Happy Friday, Notre Dame football fans. Mike Singer and Kyle Kelly live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. I just realized that my voice is back. I think it's like 98% back. I am so thankful for those who have watched my 3 shows this week, this being the third. You guys have seen the journey of my voice going from um, pretty like 50% there to I sound like I'm crying. Dude, I had a couple good clips from my Wednesday night show with Eric Hansen, but I sounded like I was crying the entire show when I went back and watched a couple of minutes of it. But now I feel like I'm back. And Kyle, we are back. I apologize. We missed the show last week because I was just too damn tired and burned out. But I feel energized today, and I'm looking forward to today's show. Kyle, how are you, my friend?
So you know how people have New Year's resolutions? Do you ever do
Yes.
those, Mike?
For a couple weeks, sure.
Okay. Heading over to the local YMCA and things like that.
I do have a YMCA right outside my neighborhood.
Right. I know. I remember you told me about that in the
Yeah.
past. No, so my point is here, I, like you, I'm assuming I have a lot of On3 gear, On3 and Rivals gear. And for whatever reason, this clothing company that provides our On3 and Rivals gear,
It's slim.
it is slim. And for a thickie like me, you know, the best anyone's ever referred to my frame is probably stocky. So I'll take that as a compliment. But for guys like me that have a little bit of a belly, these On3 and Rivals attire, they don't really fit super well. So my New Year's resolution this year is I want to be able to wear all my On3 and Rival stuff. So whether that is me getting back to the gym more often, eating better, trying to look better for my wedding on May 16th, I don't know, maybe all those things are tied together, but I'm bound and determined to be able to represent On3 and Rivals and look good doing it.
That last conference we had in Nashville, was that like a year ago? I picked up my size, like that polo, right? Of
Yep.
that color. I
Yep.
picked up my size and the size above for that reason. I figured that they were tight. So the size above fits perfect.
I can only wear it sitting down. We'll just say that.
I feel you. You know, someone asked on the message board today, "What's your favorite perks of covering Notre Dame?" And I will say, one of them is I get a lot of cool stuff, and we have some really, really cool sponsors like this shirt. Kyle, I know you have this shirt. This is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
My goal is to get into that one too, hopefully by the time of my bachelor party on March 20th,
This
which,
is
go figure, tied into the show is going to be Notre Dame's biggest recruiting weekend since probably the USC game.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. And it's not even close. Yeah, so this shirt I got as a part of our sponsorship with Robeck. This is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish polo, and when you use the promo code BlueGold20, if you've tried that recently, maybe it didn't work. I had our people talk to Robeck's people, and they got it back up and running. Robeck always has new stuff, so maybe I haven't bought something from Robeck. It's time to head back to the website RHOBACK.com and check it out. Like, I need this Notre Dame game day polo. I mean, this is sick. I wear my Roback all the time, getting lots of compliments on it. So go to roback.com, use promo code BlueGold20 for 20% off. You know, when you're talking about items over $100, like that 20% off is pretty darn sweet. So check it out, roback.com. My goal is to be able to have all of these items in my inventory. I think I've got maybe a third of them, maybe a little bit more. So that is my goal. You know, Kyle, I was looking at intermittent fasting last night. I dabbled a little bit in the past, and I don't know how
I'm
much
trying
health.
that now too. I don't know if it's super effective.
I
It
don't know.
worked for me in the past, but I don't see any major differences this time around. I've only really tried to pay attention to it for the last couple weeks, but yeah, sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're good. We're 5 minutes in. We haven't talked recruiting except for Kyle's junior day note. We will get there in a second. I think for me, I'm just a big fourth meal guy. You know, like all game from like 10 to midnight, and then I'm like, all right, I want to do something else.
that's what
And
gets
then
you.
I'll make a meal, and then I'll work for a little bit and then go to bed. So I think it's just cutting out that last. having the
Sure.
discipline
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
So, Bob, I'm feeling great. I lost my voice at a wedding. I felt pretty fine all week. My daughter's a little bit sick, so I got a little bit of that. But it was I lost my voice because I went absolutely nuts at a wedding last Saturday and was just yelling and singing for like 8 hours. It was ridiculous. But yeah, let's dive into the show. Blue and Gold was first to report this news. Elite 2027 running back Noah Roberts scheduling a Notre Dame visit for April. The visit date I'll leave behind the paywall. I gotta leave something behind the paywall. You guys gotta check it out at blueandgold.com. But Noah Roberts from Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona, the number 5 running back according to the Rivals industry ranking. Kyle, this is big on a lot of different levels. I'm sure you can speak to.
Yeah, well, I mean, just talking a little bit about running back recruiting in general, and I might be semantics, but I don't feel it was this way. But Notre Dame's top running back target, in my opinion, in the 27 class, Keemont Spell, number 1 running back in the entire country, no matter the recruiting service you go off of, committed to Georgia last weekend, and yeah, not a surprise to see Notre Dame try to pivot to the rest of the board just
Mm,
because of the well, yeah, I mean, they've still been recruiting other guys, but, yeah, maybe I didn't
who
rephrase
was
that,
the
or I
priority,
didn't phrase
Kyle?
that.
Do you want to
I
use your term priority?
No,
The
yeah.
O the OGs will
I mean, it's
remember.
obvious it was Keemon Spell. I mean, when you look at everything Notre Dame invested in that
Yeah,
recruitment, but, I mean,
they
it's clear that they
they
would
didn't
be.
even visit him in January. How about that?
Yeah, something was strange about that. I'm gonna dig into that later this month. And now I'm starting to ramble and talk in circles. But
I can jump in whenever.
well, what was I trying to say? So let me talk about Kimon real quick, just because. Do you remember when maybe on this show a couple months ago, after a Kimon Spell visited Notre Dame, I talked to Kimon after. This guy, and I mean, was when I say he was adamant, I mean 100% adamant that he was going to wait until December of his senior year on signing day to commit. And I thought he was nuts. I told him, I was like, "There's no way you're going to do this. Like, I'm sorry." And I had that relationship with Kimon where I was like, "I don't believe you're going to do this." I even said the same thing to his dad, but they were adamant they were going to do that. Then it became, oh, we're going to commit on official visits, and now obviously he's already in the Georgia class. But the reason that I bring that up is because I don't think the Keemon Spell recruitment is over, but it's pretty clear that Notre Dame is starting to turn the page a little bit more to the guys on the rest of the board. And I think Roberts is the guy that headlines it. Uh, he's a top running back in the 27 cycle as well, top 5 player at his position. His highlight film is pretty impressive on his highlight film's pretty impressive when you flick it on, and every major program in the country is after him. And the thing that really sticks out about his recruitment, it seemed like there's a heavy pull for him to stay out west, whether that's Oregon, who's the on 3 or the Rivals recruiting prediction machine leader. And I know USC's been mentioned for him. So I think it's just a matter of Notre Dame trying to get pull him away from there. And yeah, the first step in that is getting him back to campus, which will be his second visit in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I visited Notre Dame for A&M, or no, it was USC game. No, Roberts
Mhm.
did. So he saw the Irish beat one of his other contenders. The priority thing, it's like you're taking 2 running backs though, so it's not like they wanted Spell over Roberts. It was have either of them,
I
like
think their dream class was both of them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's that. I'm sorry, not either of them, both of them. But yeah, obviously Spell is the guy, and I do agree with you that the recruitment is not over. When you just Kyle, I mean, I've been doing this for so long. You've been doing this for a few years now, like covering recruiting. You can just kind of tell when a recruitment's just going to be a total roller coaster, and that was Spell. It was like
Mhm.
it was this, and then it was this, and then it was this. Like dude. Both of us, when Joey O'Brien committed last year, I'm sure me and you were like, we could see this one not being over, right?
I mean,
Oh,
it wasn't over behind the scenes, and you know that just as
mm,
well as I do. Um,
in
well,
terms of what
I
he
mean,
didn't visit anywhere else, so
Yeah, so just a little bit of a teaser. I wrote about Joey O'Brien this week, and that story is it's a lengthy one that's gonna appear in our Blue and Gold Illustrated recruiting magazine. And Mike and I will be posting links and on social media and on the board to pre-order that.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, one of our best magazine editions of the year. But basically, with Joey O'Brien, that Penn State and Oregon were still communicating with him quite a bit. Uh, Oregon invited him to campus multiple times. Joey told me that he considered going to Oregon, but ultimately, well, for one, he did consider committing to Oregon, which you reported on in the summer, and then Joey told me back in December that Oregon was trying to get him on campus. He declined those invitations because of his relationships with Notre Dame. But as you know, Mike, the other development in that recruitment is he was really thinking about getting to Penn State for the whiteout game when Oregon was there as well. So, yeah, when it's all said and done, Joey O'Brien he remained locked into Notre Dame more than what we thought. But that's not to say that he wasn't tempted by other schools throughout the remainder of the process.
All right, long tangent there, Mr. Kelly. Reeling it back in. I don't even remember what point I was making.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking way too much today.
No, you're okay. Like Chris Burgess was another one when they like commit, and you're like, could see it. Could see it like continuing to look at other schools, and then they just don't. I don't think Spell's going to be like that. I think that he's going to keep looking around. Like you just like when his recruitment's just here, it's there, it's there. It's like you kind of learn. That's what my point was earlier about the experience covering recruiting. It's like you just kind of know, like, yeah, you're saying this, but things change. You know, you could say sign today. I'm sure I told you, Kyle. There's not a chance in hell. I didn't see that at all. You know, like you just kind of expect the unexpected with some of those high profile wild recruitments. So do I think Spell ends up in Notre Dame's class? I don't. Um, I think he's a kid who would fit well at Notre Dame. And he's got such a strong relationship with Jaywan Sider, but he may sign with Georgia, but I could see him visiting Penn State still. There's going to be that pull. Maybe he gets back to Notre Dame, which I'm sure would be one of the most hyped up visits in recent memory, like his visit was last fall. But I don't know. But regardless, Notre Dame is getting Noah Roberts, who we watched a little bit of his film on the video format of this show. And for folks listening to this podcast, thank you. Please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your pod here. I think Roberts looks like an outstanding back. So this would be a big one, like you mentioned, top competition. But Marcus Freeman and Jaywan Sider visited him in January. That trip went well. And I think that Notre Dame's got a pretty good shot here. They seem to be gaining some momentum. And it definitely helps when this spring you're going to have Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. I mean, obviously Love's going to be the first back taken off the board, but I'm not a big NFL draft guy, but I would assume Price has got to be around the top 5 backs taken.
Yeah, no, he is. He's been projected day 2.
So, and day 2 is what, second, third round?
Mm-hmm.
So that's only going to help. Like there's one thing like, all right, I'm going to a school with great academics. Great. Stanford's got great academics, right? It's like how many top recruits are going to Stanford these days? And that's like, you got the winning program, you're winning 10 games here and there. Like Notre Dame was doing a lot with Brian Kelly. All right, that's nice. You can attract a higher level of athlete. Now you're sending like the likes of Kyle Hamilton and Jeremiah Love and some of these guys, at a super high level now and all pro type of players like Kyron Williams. Like now you're attracting even more pool of prospects who want to come play for you. So it is it's impressive. Chris said, who are the running back targets that are possible? Kyle and I wrote about 2 backs who are both impressive. One from South Carolina, one from Texas, who has scheduled Notre Dame visits for this spring. So I'd say Jaywan Sider has got a pretty good start to the 2027 cycle. The 26 class was really, really strong with Javian Osborne and Jonas Walton from Georgia. Like, Kyle, the when we talk about the 26 class, we talk about the high ranking, we talk about the amount of 5 stars. It's like down the list is the running back tandem with Walton and Osborne. And I don't even think it's that disrespectful to have them down the list because it's just such a damn good class. Like, it speaks to more about a damn good class. Like, Osborne and Walton are tremendous. It's such a, we'll talk about the recruiting class as a whole in 26, but it really is so freaking good that Walton and Osborne are maybe like the 5th talking point about the class or something like that. You know what I'm saying, Kyle? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, when I did my story, I think was it last week now when Rivals updated the rankings, and I just give a couple different markers of the class. The running back class is, like you mentioned, is probably my 5th talking point. I talked about how Notre Dame had 5 5 stars. This is according to the Rivals rankings. Again, usually we talk about the Rivals industry ranking on this show, which is the composite of 24/7 ESPN and Rivals all grouped together. That is usually the rankings we reference, but what I'm referring to now is just simply Rivals' own rankings. Notre Dame had 5 5 stars there, tied Ohio State. I think 7 top 100 guys or something around there. That was another top marker in the class. They signed the best edge rushing duo in Rodney Dunham and Ebenezer Iwatade. Best secondary, or I think the best cornerback duo with Kari Adams and Aiden Pouncey. And I think I'm at point number 5 now, where Osborne and Jonas Wallen,
Yeah.
Notre Dame and USC are the only 2 teams with 2 running backs ranked within the top 10 of their position nationally in the class. So, yeah, really impressive haul for Notre Dame. And I to be honest, when you look at the Notre Dame depth chart right now at running back, I think it's going to be hard to keep both those guys, and at least at the minimum, one of those guys off the field next season.
All right. The headline of this show, I have elite running back sets visit. That's what we just talked about with Nate Roberts. It also says Irish looking to flip 5-star SEC commit. That is very true.
They are.
I think I might have added a little flair with that headline, but it is true, I will say. So let's talk about this one, Kyle. Easton Royal from New Orleans' brother Martin. He is the #1 wide receiver in the 2027 class per the industry ranking, and Rivals a consensus top 4 wide receiver, consensus top 25 overall player. He's big time, man. I saw him a lot at the Under Armour game. In the week of practices. I know you talked to him at the media day that I didn't get to go to. I was at a wedding. And here is a little bit of an interesting note. I tweeted this out when Royal announced his offer from the Irish on February 4th. Notre Dame quarterback signee dropped a dime to Royal in the Under Armour All-America game for a touchdown. This was an incredible throw by Teddy Gerard, who's looking right, throws across his body to his left with a defensive back in great coverage, and Royal makes this catch. And this was not the only connection that they had. They were, obviously on the same team and made a lot of connections on one-on-ones and 7-on-7 during the 3 practices. So I don't know, Kyle, Notre Dame got any shot here?
It's a long shot right now, and this thing is, just really getting started now. And just to give you a little background on how Easton Royal came on my radar is just talking to different people. I had heard he's high academic kid who attends Catholic school down there in New Orleans. And it's my understanding he had at least some preliminary interest at Notre Dame. And when I was at in Orlando for the Under Armour All-American Game Media Day, they filter all these recruits in throughout it's like a 4-hour span. And gosh, we probably end up seeing over 100 recruits who are made available for interviews. And obviously the Notre Dame guys with offers are the priorities, but sometimes when there's like non Notre Dame guys, or when there's no Notre Dame targets available to talk to, I like to just talk to some of the other guys and maybe get some background information on their recruitment if Notre Dame has ever reached out or anything like that. And I had the opportunity to talk to Royal, and I just asked him, would Notre Dame ever be of interest to you? And he told me, yeah. And the main reason why was because of Marcus Freeman. He has an affinity for Notre Dame's head coach. I think I put on the loose emoji board, like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, at the very least, if I'm Notre Dame, what I'm doing is 100% sending Marcus Freeman down to his school during the January recruiting contact period. Like, this perfect time for it. Just get some FaceTime with him, see how it goes from there. I don't think that occurred, even though Freeman was in Louisiana during January. He was seeing five-star offensive lineman Albert Simeon, who was also at that game. But Notre Dame still offered him regardless. And even though he is committed to Texas, my impression of that commitment, it is strong, but he is still looking at other schools. Official visits are being set elsewhere. He tried to make it to a couple different campuses in January.
Can't be that strong then.
Well, that's a thing, because like when he talked about his Texas commitment, it was pretty clear he was locked. Like, he feels good about going there, but
actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, very true. So another long way of saying that I think Notre Dame has a shot, just as with any other recruit. Got to get on campus and see what happens after that.
Yeah, when Freeman was in Louisiana, that was the day where he was at
that
the
was
Rockets.
A weird travel day for him.
Yeah, he was at the Rockets game in Houston, then went to Louisiana to start the morning. No. He was in Houston, stopped to see that 4-star corner in the Houston area, and then went over to, I'm assuming, right, I don't have his travel itinerary, and then went over to Louisiana to see Albert Simeon, and then went out to Arizona to see, ironically enough, Noah Roberts, we just talked about. So that is interesting that he didn't get to see him, but talking about Easton Royal, but I'm assuming he had like an hour or something. He didn't have a whole lot of time there.
For sure.
Yeah. So a lot of talk about Marcus Freeman, 3 different states, 3 days. Like, all right. Or excuse me, 3 different states one day. It's a lot of travel.
Dude, his travel itinerary in January was ridiculous.
Guy was on a private jet though, so
I know. Still, I mean, Florida, Louisiana, Texas,
that,
Arizona, California, New Hampshire.
Did you like that article I did with the map of his travel?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up for the people.
While you're doing that, I'll make this point later on. So
there she is. I mean, Los Angeles, San Diego, Arizona, Houston, Louisiana. Spent a lot of time in Florida, and it's my understanding that Freeman was in Florida a lot more than maybe originally anticipated because of the weather. Which, back to the Keymon Spell point, I was told by one source that they didn't get to see Keymon Spell because the weather was just so bad. Like when they were originally planning to see him. Now there's certain questions that could come arise, like, why didn't you go see him at this? Whatever the case is, I don't know. Like, I can't answer the specifics, but that's what I was told by one source, is that the travel in that part of Pennsylvania was just really difficult to get into. Like, Notre Dame didn't get into Charlotte. I was told it was really difficult to get to Charlotte, like for Notre Dame to see Jackson Dollar. So, like, a lot of this is planned out, like, before that coaches on the road period starts. Like, they plan out when you're seeing everyone, so they have to make last second adjustments, and the weather was obviously the cause of that, so they didn't get to see a couple of kids who they originally planned to. So Freeman spent 2 extra days in South Florida, that I don't think was originally in the plans, Kyle, especially because he was just there for the national championship
that seemed kind of strange to me why he was down there, because there was no Notre Dame like immediate high school junior class 2027 kids that were targets down there. So that leads me to believe the weather, which, I mean, the weather was a major concern. There was coaches who couldn't visit certain parts of the country. And just let me add one quick note about Keymon Spell is I know Notre Dame fans were a little bit curious on why they didn't visit him. I think it would have been last Thursday, or 8 days ago, the Thursday 8 days ago,
Okay.
when they were in, the east side of the east side of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. That area, why they didn't hit Keymon spell on the way home, quote unquote, and Keymon was already in Georgia
See,
on
that's another
Thursday.
thing.
So that,
Yeah.
yeah, there was no luck there. And I will say, I mean, I'm in Cleveland now. I gotta imagine we all got the same sort of weather in that whole little funnel or whatever the heck you want to call it, and we got slammed pretty darn good. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, I was just looking at the screen and I saw the Augie's locker room football behind me. Shout out Augie, who's just texting him this morning. The perks of this job, Kyle, I get a lot of cool stuff. I feel bad because I generally get the cool stuff, and you guys don't get as much cool stuff as I get. I don't know. I guess it's just because I'm the face of the YouTube channel. I'm on here the most. Augie sent me something, and I kind of want to show it now. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'll show it. This maybe different people are watching this compared to the Wednesday night show with Eric. You know, I have the Steve Angeli helmet behind me. Steve Angeli signed Notre Dame helmet. Obviously just a mini helmet for folks listening to this as a podcast. I joked one episode. I was like, should get a Syracuse signed one, and I'll just have it up there, but not for when Notre Dame plays Syracuse. I'll take it down then. Look what Augie sent me. Actually, I did send this to you on our blue and gold chat. I got the Syracuse.
Is that signed as well?
Oh yeah.
Boy, I wonder how Augie pulls that off.
I know. There it is. It's pretty sick.
What a guy.
I may or may not have texted it to Steve as well, and he may or may not have loved it. So yeah, I'm gonna show that back off again on Wednesday. So act surprised, Fighting Irish fans. I feel like for people who don't get the bit, like Eric Hansen just joined the blue and gold staff this past summer, right? I don't think Eric was watching our shows for the years. Heck, Kyle Kelly, you joined us early 23?
Yeah, we're coming up on that 3-year anniversary.
So, I was the Steve Angeli guy when he was recruiting 2020, 2021, so I think a lot of people maybe don't get the bit. It's been a running thing that I'm a Steve Angeli guy. Of course, I like Steve, but it's kind of been taken to the umpteenth degree. I wonder if people are like, what the hell is this guy's obsession with Steve Angeli? Like, give it a break, bro. So just understand, it's just been a growing bit for like 5 years. I rest my case. Speaking of Kyle, getting off topic. I also have another thing coming in that a business is sending me that I'm so excited about. It might be the best thing I've ever received from like a sponsorship. So you're going to be very jealous, Kyle. You're going to be very jealous.
Bet you it's like some golf club covers or something like that.
Oh no, I would have sent that right to you, my friend. I would have said, here's this address in Cleveland. Here you go. So Kyle, we did get signing day. Kyle, the first Wednesday in February is National Signing Day. And how about that? Did you know that? That's what it used to be for the longest time. I'm teasing. But Notre Dame did sign 2 new players. Micah Drescher, here is I'm assuming photoshopped a picture of him with the football through the legs, unless he took an official visit that I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did take an official visit. And Teddy Gerard, that I'm pretty certain this one is Photoshop. But anyways, there's Teddy Gerard, also signed with Notre Dame. Under Armour All-American. Of course, Drescher, the kicker from Hillsdale, I believe it's Hillsdale, Illinois, was an Army All-American or Navy All-American. I think it's Navy. Yeah, so these guys became official. Here's what Biaggi said about Drescher. We are excited to have Micah join our special teams unit in our program as a top-ranked kicker in the 26th class. He is a tremendous addition to an already elite group we are bringing in. He is eager to do anything he can to help our team achieve success. And Mike Denbrock said that he is thrilled to welcome Teddy Gerard to our football family His talent, work ethic, and competitive spirit will be an asset to our team as we push toward our goals this season and beyond. So that is a 30-man class for Notre Dame. Kyle, I don't know if this is worth a research project about like Notre Dame's biggest high school classes ever. This has got to be up there. It's a big class. It's a talented class. It's the number 2 class in the country. What's like your favorite stat about this class? If you just had to put your finger on one, I know you've written a lot about this kind of subject, so I'm sure you're okay being on the spot for this.
No, yeah, and you're making me do a research project right now with the most number of commits. I wonder if I know I have that somewhere. I just don't know where. So, yeah, I can't find it, but I mean it's pretty obvious, man. 5 rivals, 5 stars. I mean that's really impressive. And I will say one of the spreadsheets that I have that I've shared to you, and I think it's think it's accurate now. I hope so. Is I've compiled every 5-star recruit Notre Dame is signed, no matter recruiting service. And well, according to the primary recruiting services. So again, ESPN, Rivals, and 24/7. And even when you combine all those 3 services together, I'm pretty sure Notre Dame's never had 5 stars in a cycle. Unfortunately, I know. Were you around for the Scout.com days, Mike? Did you ever compete with those guys?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I was probably in high school when Scout was around, so we can't go off their rankings because they don't exist anymore. So I'm sure maybe Notre Dame might have had a couple 5 stars with them, but yeah, when we're talking just grouping all those recruiting services together, Notre Dame the 5 is the most. Pretty sure, and just a incredible accomplishment for Marcus Freeman and that coaching staff. Number one, their evaluations, but number 2, targeting the right type of guys. I mean, I felt like when I was starting covering Notre Dame back in, it would have been the 23 recruiting class, the Keon Keeley class. Like, it was a big deal just for Notre Dame to have 1 5-star, and it's always been that way the last couple of years just to get a 5-star. And we're talking about 5.
yeah.
I mean, that's incredible, especially I mean, some of those top Georgia classes back in the day had 5 stars. And guess what? That those Georgia classes ended up winning a couple national championships. So I know the transfer portal is more prevalent than ever these days, but Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, they're going to build their recruiting classes through the high school ranks. And,
Yeah.
I would argue no one's doing it better than Notre Dame right now.
Yeah, and those 5 stars by Rivals are Grayson McHugh, 5-star, Rodney Dunham, Kari Adams, Joey O'Brien, and Ian Premer. I've talked about this recently, but Charles Power told me that for them to rank a safety a 5-star means that they think that the player's a generational talent.
Damn.
And yeah.
Wow,
So
that's impressive.
yeah, like it's a big deal because you might think, well, he's a number 1 safety. Of course, he should be a 5-star. You got to understand that it's not like the way they do the rankings at on 3/Rivals is a little bit more analytical, and they take it very, very seriously. Like they want to have their rankings be very accurate. So how do you determine what a successful ranking is? Like, what is the best way? I would love you guys to tell me. Oh, well, you got all conference. Well, sucks to be Notre Dame then. Or it's like, oh, you got really good stats. All right, let's all go to play quarterback at Houston and light it up, or Baylor or something. And then, then that's how you become a good 5-star. The only thing that's ever made sense to me, I've been saying this for years now, is the NFL draft. The NFL drafts, the NFL picks the best college football players, right? Tim Tebow went in the first round. He was a 5-star guy. He didn't pan out in the NFL. Neither did Johnny Manziel, right? As first-round picks. But for Tebow's case, he was a 5-star. So that was a good ranking, And then it goes down from, different 4-star rankings to line up with different rounds of the draft. I think it's any 4-star they see as a draftable player. So it does make sense to me. So a long way to say, like, Joey O'Brien, like, how many safeties go in the first round, Kyle? You get maybe one a year?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I was
And
just
you're
trying to jog my memory a little bit. I mean, I know that in this year's draft, Caleb Downs will be the one of them, but I don't
he's a
know any besides
generational
that.
five.
Yeah.
He was a 5-star generational guy. And now, of course, the draft this spring, you're drafting from what, 3 different, 4, whatever different recruiting high school classes you can draft from, whether it's someone's a redshirt senior, redshirt down to redshirt sophomore. So yeah, it would make sense to have 1 or 2, but just from given a single recruiting class, you may just have 1 5-star safety drafted, or if any, right? So that's
Yeah,
the
I mean, it's the
significance of.
same reason there's hardly any 5-star running backs. Just because, I mean, for a long time, there was like a 10-year run where I don't know if any running backs went in the first round, and now it's starting to pick up again. I think there was a couple guys last year, but still maybe 1 or 2 a year, you know?
Now, one thing I'll push back on about that is, like, that it doesn't make it a perfect system. And here we go, Mike Singer's yapping about recruiting
There is no
rankings.
perfect system.
There's no perfect system, one, but, like, if a guy is talented enough to be like a 5-star in the traditional sense, like, I would hate for him not to get a 5th star just because running backs don't get drafted as much in the first round, or safeties like that. I don't like, it's like you're being docked just because of your position for why you can't get a 5th star. Whereas edge rushers and tackles, get more 5 stars. You know what I'm saying, Kyle? Does that make sense? Like, I don't like
Yeah,
that,
it
but
does, but it's just like if that's a process you're gonna go by, you have
you
to
got to
stick
go by it.
to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even it's the same thought like in college football, like who are your most valuable players? It's obviously the quarterback,
You're
offensive
right.
tackles, edge rushers, and cornerbacks, somewhat in that order. So it does make sense that even though that the rankings are formulated to project to the NFL draft, still those types of talents are the most valuable. Those positional talents are the most valuable on a college football team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Whenever I talk about stuff like this, I'll see comments like, "Oh, Mike, you're just saying that because that's your company." Guys, there's a lot of things I don't talk about with On Three or Rivals that, like, maybe I don't agree with. I'm not, like, out here. I don't go out of my way to back things if I don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When I first learned about this is how the rankings were formulated like 2 years ago. I didn't understand it at first, but the more I think about it, just
Yeah.
it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
It's the way that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, real quick, the fact that they're able to hit on some of these rankings, I mean, for one, we see how difficult it is in the NFL draft trying to project college players to the NFL.
Right.
We're talking about high schoolers. We're talking about teenagers and
So
guys
much
are
less data.
reclassifying and, 17 and 18-year-olds. You're trying to project them 3 to 4 years to the NFL. I mean, the fact that their hit rate, where half of these 5 stars are drafted in the first round sometimes, are just really impressive. I mean, I think very highly of Cody Belair and Charles Power, who primarily they're the guys that spearhead the rankings. I know Wilt Fong's got a voice in that room, Greg Biggins, probably some other guys, but I mean, this is Power and Belair's names are on it. And like you said earlier, like they take it really serious because it's a reflection on them.
I think my favorite stat, going back to the original topic, is the 5-star thing's big. The 2 others that come to my mind is, one, the highest ranked class in the internet era. I think that's incredible. Using that industry ranking, that goes back to 2004. Notre Dame had only signed a single digit class, I think 4 times or 5 times. 5 times.
2022, a couple Charlie Weiss classes, and I think in 2013.
They signed 3 in a row, like 3 top 5 classes in a row.
Jimmy
and then
Clausen,
2013. And then this one, but no, they had never signed higher than the number 4 class. and they signed the number 2 class this year. So
It's
that's pretty
incredible.
tremendous. And then a 70% blue chip ratio with 30 players, Kyle. Like
Wait,
what?
we didn't. Sorry to cut you off, but we didn't. This just popped in my mind. The most impressive stat of all: no decommitments in
Yeah.
that 26 class. I mean, we can't say that in 2027 already, since Notre Dame had a linebacker decommit, Ellis
Yeah.
McGaskin from Alabama. But yeah, I mean, the fact that
It's cool.
I mean,
But like
dude,
at the end of the day, does it mean anything? It's a cool stat. But like, does that mean the 27 class is not going to be as good as 26 because they had a decommit?
it doesn't. But
But it is cool. It's a cool data
it got
point.
some national traction, man. We had Ari Wasserman writing about it, and
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It speaks to culture and different intangible things. But does it really? USC with their 35 commits had a 63% blue chip ratio. So just the more players you take, the more likely you're going to have more 3-stars. It's just math, right? You can't sign all 5-star guys, 4-star guys. So Notre Dame signing 30 players and 70% of them being 4 or 5-star guys is really, really good. I mean, the 2021 class had a sub 50% blue chip ratio with 27 guys in it. Like this was damn good. Like that, I think that's really impressive.
So, and that 2021 class is the class that was a senior class, Notre Dame's national championship run.
It was also the COVID year where they.
Oh yeah, but still, I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that senior class ended up making a big difference because so many young guys, so many freshmen and sophomores in 2024 season.
The 2021 class had
Blake
what
the
Fisher.
heck am I saying? I'm so messed up with my years right now. 21 class would be this senior class, wouldn't it? The 25 senior? Is it 24 or 25 season that they were seniors?
21. So 21 freshmen.
Yeah,
2, 3,
so I was
4.
right at first. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the COVID
year.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Blake Fisher was already gone. Rocco Spindler was there. Lorenzo Styles was gone. Tyler Buckner.
Was this a Prince Colley class too?
Prince Colley, Dion Colsey, Audric Estime, Joe Alt, Mitchell Evans. So Mitchell Evans was there. Gabriel Rubio. So man, that class had a lot of freaking players transfer out. Kane Brong, Will Schweitzer, Philip Riley, Caleb Johnson, Jaden Thomas, Kari Gee,
all these guys transferred
Logan
out.
Diggs, Justin Walters, Kahanu Kia still there. Pat Coogan was on that team. Ryan Barnes transferred out. Devin Appew. It's probably a name Kyle's never heard of. Jason Anye, JoJo Johnson, Josh Bryan, Ron Paulus. That is wild.
Literally the majority of that class transferred out.
So the only players, whether it was transfer or NFL draft, that were on the national championship team for their 4th national championship runner-up team: Spindler, Buckner, Colsey. Had Colsey left, or was he on that team?
He was on. Him and Jaden Thomas were there.
Okay, so Rubio's 4, Tucker's 5, Mitch Evans 6, Jaden Thomas 7, Kanu Kia 8, Pat Coogan 9, Anye 10. Josh Bryan, I think, had already left, right? Yeah. Okay, that's 10 of 27 stayed for their 4th year. Is that something or is that nothing? I feel like that's something.
I think it's a nod to the level Notre Dame's recruiting at right now, because so many of the guys from the 23 and 24 class jumped those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, probably even before. I mean, a lot of these guys transferred out even before these guys were on. A lot of the 23 and 24 class guys arrived on campus by the time a lot of those guys transferred out. But still, it's a pretty good nod to Notre Dame's development, because whether those 2022 guys were there, or the 2021 guys were there or not, 23 guys ultimately became the 23 class and 24 class guys ultimately became the guys that made the difference. So just a couple of those names like Drake Bowen, Jeremiah Love, Kingston Viliamuasa, or was Leonard Moore 25 class maybe?
Four.
Okay, so yeah, Leonard Moore. Yeah, I mean the list goes on and on. So
yeah. Last thing, Kai, just remember that you said you had to get out by 1:45.
Yep.
So let me just pop this up. Swanton said the blue chip ratio is also high in this country by quite a bit. Maybe on one site, I just looked this up. Texas A&M has the best at 70.37, but Notre Dame's right there at 70% even. Let's go to Texas A&M's class. They had 27 commits. So, I mean, pretty close to 30, but basically the same blue chip ratio. So that I didn't realize that it was, just by a hair, the number 2 highest blue chip ratio. So that's pretty damn impressive too. So, all right, that is going to do it for this show, folks. Please do hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. If you're just tuning in, you're like, wait, don't end the show. Rewind, watch in the beginning. We talked about the things in the headline much earlier in the show. So do hit the thumbs up, watch in the beginning, subscribe to our channel, head to blueandgold.com for more coverage. Thank you all so much for watching or listening, and we'll catch you next time.